If they're successful, they can create jobs, serve as an answer to unmet needs in the market, and bring about social change. In cities, they're also a key factor for growth, both in population and income. So what's happening now in the city of Rochester to make the landscape appealing for urban entrepreneurs? And is it working? Joining me at the table is Ebony Miller-Wesley, Interim Director of RIT Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, and Heidi Zimmermeyer, President of the Rochester Downtown Development Corporation. Welcome, Ebony. Welcome back, Heidi. It's good to see you. So just to start, why would an entrepreneur want to start a business in downtown Rochester? And I'll give that to you, Ebony.
Well, when you look at what's happening in downtown Rochester, you have an uprise of residential projects, and along with that comes needs of those residents. So when you look at the basic needs right now, in my opinion, they're not being met. So your one-stop shopping, your restaurants, your retail, we have a lack of that. So it makes sense for entrepreneurs to want to gravitate towards that need and start their business in downtown Rochester. And
based on that, I guess what's changing? How are entrepreneurs, Heidi, being supported now that we didn't necessarily see 5 to 10 years ago in the city?
I think a lot of things have shifted. One of them is that we have RIT Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, which is now providing much more cogent and organized support. We have a lot of other organizations that are now working together in a partnership: Urban League, Ibero, Pathstone, the City of Rochester, SCORE, lots of players, ourselves. And I think the timing is such that we're recognizing how you best support folks that aren't coming from a lot of resources. So it's pretty different situation now, I'd say.
What are some of the restrictions, though, that still exist that are making it hard for some businesses to launch? I've talked to people quite often. They'll say to me, "Oh my gosh, Helen, there's so much red tape. There's so much red tape in the city. Sometimes it's hard to get things moving." Does that apply also to the entrepreneurial landscape?
Yes. I want to say one of the biggest hurdles that we're seeing at the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship is financing. The issue of either, let's say if it's a construction business, them not being able to secure the bonding for major projects. Small mom and pops businesses might have had some hurdles in the past that prohibits them from being bankable at the current time, or even the time it takes for certain things that they apply for within the city of Rochester and the red tape that exists within. So yes, there are several different hurdles that they face, but the major one that we're seeing is financing.
Are there things in place, you're nodding yes, you know where I'm going, to address that?
Yeah, I would say very definitely. What we've found is that in the last year or two, more of our commercial banks and credit unions are focusing on smaller business loans, and there's some of them in particular are trying to create financing opportunities for a slightly riskier population of entrepreneurs, but for the reason of trying to support the city and trying to support the growth of smaller business startups. So that landscape has changed, and I think more will happen. There are a lot more pieces that are kind of in motion now, but I think it's better than it was. And we also have Kiva. We're now a Kiva city.
That's right.
So that's average Kiva loan is about $6,000. And it's I think that's a very real opportunity for small businesses.
Are you finding a trend in terms of the industry rather, that entrepreneurs seem to be gravitating towards when it comes to the downtown Rochester area?
I'd say retail.
Predominantly retail?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that there are opportunities for culinary entrepreneurs soon to be, correct? Because this is something that the Rochester Downtown Development Corporation is working on. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about this.
We are. We're heavily engaged now in raising the funds to build out a downtown kitchen incubator called the Commissary. And you don't need a college degree or even necessarily a high school degree to start a food business. So food truck operators, startup restaurants, caterers, bakers, and food manufacturing and production startups will all be targeted by this. So it's right in the heart of, right at Main and Clinton and the Metropolitan. And it will join what are now 3 other incubators, including the one that Ebony runs, within a block of each other in the core of the Downtown Innovation Zone. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Ebony, you said that entrepreneurship is what's going to drive our economy in the future. So I have to ask, if you were to look into a crystal ball, when do you think that that could potentially happen, when it is really driving the economy more so than we've seen?
I'd say it's starting now. When you look at the fact that the major organizations that once occupied a significant amount of employees in our area, they're no longer doing that anymore. So you have Xerox, Kodak, Bosch and Lomb. They're not doing business like they did, if any, in our area like they did in the past. And so with that said, along comes entrepreneurship. You know, that's going to be the driver in the future, and I see it making a major impact within the next 5 to 10 years. However, it's a collaborative effort. In order for them to be successful, we have to be successful as service providers in getting them the help that they need, identifying service gaps that exist and addressing those, making sure that we're addressing them in the most efficient way so that they're successful.
I don't have to imagine. Oh, go ahead, Heidi.
I was going to add also that if we believe in the Finger Lakes area that we're going to grow about 5,000 tech jobs in the next 5 to 10 years, senior economist at M&T Bank says each one of those tech jobs will spin off 4.5 low-tech Main Street jobs, whole range of services and companies as the economy begins to grow again for the first time in a very long time. So what Ebony's talking about is absolutely critical to de-risk, help our businesses scale up that are already out there, and help new ones start when there's a gap in the market that can be filled, and people can make money from that. Well,
this is something that we will continue to follow here on WXXI. I want to thank you both for joining me today. As I mentioned, we'll continue to explore this issue, and you can find links to RIT Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and also the Rochester Downtown Development Corporation on our website to learn more about their work. Just go to WXXInews.org and click on the Need to Know link.